you have yet to fulfill your potential. And you probably never will, because potential is that thing that's in front of you that you have yet to do. And none of us have. Because if you had fulfilled your potential, you would be happy, you would be wealthy, you would be doing all kinds of great things, and you would have fixed the world by now. Because, see, we're all born the same way. We're all born with equal abilities and talents. And so we can create and manifest anything if we were to fulfill our potential. But again, it is something that is always in front of us. That is us individually, but also in our world. It's hard to do anything beyond what we have seen done or what we believe can be done. That's been my challenge anyway. See, that message, that's the title of a message I received tomorrow last year. What I mean by that is I received information before it shows up in our world, and that's how I've created all of my work. That's how I do everything. But then also accepting that was challenging for me, which is why I didn't fulfill my potential, and you haven't done it either, because I'm supposed to help you. That's what I was here to do. And when we do that, we see a very different world. Several years ago, when I changed my life, it's because I knew the world was going to be changing and I had something that would be really valuable. But then to believe that and accept it myself was challenging, and to have other people believe it was even more challenging. But let's talk about energy, because then you will understand the message that I will read to you that came through last year on September 13th of 2023. And it's fascinating too, because 13 is my lucky number. I know that seems different than most others, but that's my lucky number. See, we have to break some old ideas about everything, about ourselves and about what we can do in our lives or what we can accomplish in our world. And some old superstitions keep us stuck. And then old beliefs keep us stuck as well. See, I was told that what we were going to do is create something different in the world, but we have to do it through us, meaning that we would start fulfilling our potential. Every human is born with that. But the other thing that happens is that we are born with limited awareness, individually and also collectively. All we're ever doing in our lives is trying to attempt to move through a higher state of understanding about ourselves and the world, and that only happens in consciousness. And that consciousness has been developed collectively by everyone who existed before. But we're meant to come in and do something new. And that can be challenging, because to do that, you have to become unique. But you're going to go through your fear. You're going to go through your doubt about that. You're not going to believe who you are. You're going to have the imposter syndrome. You'll have failure. You'll be depressed sometimes. You will want to give up. You might get sick. You might have illnesses. You might, all those things. But then you move over them, because what happens is you start fulfilling more of your potential, because you take the next step on your evolutionary journey, which is only yours. You're the only one who can live it. And then you start to see magnificent things show up in your life. But you exist now to help fulfill your potential to create a better world. That's what we're all doing. And especially if you live in the United States, you would really be doing it. Because, see, what will happen is you will have all of your old ideas come up within you, and all the limiting ideas. And they might revolve around who you think you are, your self image, your identity about yourself, your belief about what you're capable of, or your significance. That's the real big one. Or maybe you think that you weren't given a gift. That could be in your consciousness as well. And none of those things are true. Every single human was born with something they're meant to do, because it's part of your soul mission. And as you take the steps on your path of self-discovery, you begin to understand that, and you make a different contribution, which is always energetic. So when we talk about energy, there are only two that we can choose from, and they have qualities. There'll be lower or higher vibration energies, and they're just different. But if you think about love, that's the highest energy, because everything is energy again. And then if you think about hate and judgment and anger and all of those things, those are lower vibrational energies, and we have them all. And we've had them forever. I'm saying that because You have to think about your consciousness. It's always existed because you're just bringing in ideas and that you've picked up from your family, your parents, your ancestors, or people around you, or the country that you're in, wherever it is. But for you, you have to decide that you are worth it. You have to take the steps to know that you have potential, that you can accomplish something. And I know that you can because that's the work that I was given. But when we don't accept that next step in our lives, we get stuck a lot of times. I got stuck. I understand it. I can always see it. Then what happened is when I knew that I had something that could have everyone fulfill their potential, and that would change the world. I couldn't accept that in my consciousness, though. This is why that message came through last year, and I couldn't accept it then. You haven't accepted what you have either. Because again, if all of us had done that, we would remember our connection to source. We would remember that we have everything within us to manifest a great world, and we would move over every idea of limitation. And those limitations have existed in humans. So if you're thinking that if you're having some idea that is you feel is racist, you didn't get that from yourself. You picked it up somewhere. And so if you don't let go of it, then you're not healing. You're not becoming who you could be. Or same thing with the sexuality or misogyny, any of those things, because that's the big one that we're moving through right now. That's what this transition in our world is about, because we're trying to get to this place where we understand that all people matter and have value. I put up two messages in the last couple of days. Well, yeah, last several days. One today said, you are moving to oneness. And oneness is a process of evolution or ascension where we start to understand that all humans have the same worth and value. But as a society, we haven't gotten there yet. And so that's why we're moving through this difficult period. And it's being focused in certain places. That's energetic again. We could go into understanding how the planets and the galaxies have changed, and that's why that's happening. But the fact is, you have to understand how important you are and that you have this potential. And the only reason you haven't lived it and the only reason you haven't become wealthy or happy and successful and changed the world is that you don't believe you can. And I know because that's what I did as well. But let me show you this message and it'll give you a lot of value. And I'm saying this because I'm putting this out today. It's the 12th today, but I want to have it out tonight, the 13th, because I know the energies of our world are kind of ramping up, especially in the US. And so the more of us who can decide that we're going to fulfill more of our potential, remember who we are. One message said in there, and you'll see it in the string of messages that were put up today. And this says, there's only one voice. That's when we move to oneness. We can hear there's only one voice, and that voice is within you. You know how you hear that thing about that still small voice? Everyone has it, but you just have to decide if you're going to listen to it or not, if you're going to move to that higher state of understanding within you so you can put that into the world. And then you have to recognize, especially during this time, everyone's not going to do that. So then you will have the responsibility of doing it for yourself. But then you get to appreciate all those people that you see that are not doing the things you think they should be doing or acting in a way or letting go of that old stuff or their biases or hatred or their anger. That is a stimulus for you to let go of yours. That's all. Because then we have more energy of light and love. We change everything. And that's the work that I was given. It took me forever to say that and accept it. But it came out yesterday, more of it, with my release of the episode that I filmed a few months ago for Gaia called on Beyond Belief with George Noory. And it was called Channeling Your Soul Purpose, because that's why you're alive. And when you can do that, then you're fulfilling your potential because that's what it is and that's what you were given. But here's the message. And it is this. You have yet to fulfill your potential. That potential is the element implanted within you at birth, and your life experiences have revealed much of what you were meant to achieve. Because you also possess free will, you are at the liberty to make any choice about the life and world you want to experience and decide how willing you are to thrive. We provided a message on this lucky day 10 years ago that would do well, that you would do well to implement now. It never matters what you have done previously. The life and world you desire can only be manifested now. You can decide to love and forgive yourself even more and aid the restructuring of your world, which is in your hands. September 13th, 2013. Recreate yourself today. This would be a good mantra for you to remember and use each day as you awaken. You have this opportunity in every moment of now, but it might be easier to fully utilize it when you use it upon arising. It is also no accident that you can interpret that word in different ways. You can think of it as recreate or to make new, and you can also think of it as recreation, which is precisely how you intended it to feel. This also serves as a reminder that when you place a playful and fun attitude in your awareness before you begin to attempt anything, the process is much more enjoyable, especially recreating you. And that is what we're always doing. And you can see the timeline there. That was 2013. It's to understand that you will evolve in your consciousness over linear time, and the world will do the same thing, but it doesn't do it unless we all do it. Certain people are just given different ways. I was given a philosophy, and that took a long time for me to embody and accept, but I have to do that now because I know how important it is for you to fulfill your potential, and that's what this work does. Now, I will never be able to explain to you how I received all of this and didn't know that it was there and it was aligned with the energetic changes of the world, but that is what's happened. And if you go through any of the message, you'll see that huge astrological events that change I received information, which is also why I do the channeling sessions on moon changes like the full moon and new moons. But there's a full moon coming up on Tuesday, and so there will be one there, and I'd love for you to attend. Please subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, if you haven't done that, and share it with others, and come to the channeling, check out the work. Now, let me say why I'm saying this. If you look at my program, it doesn't have everything in there this week. We will have all of it there because it only says 30 some lessons. This is a full year. You own it forever, but the work is going to be at least 90 days of stuff that you're doing because it's about changing your brain to understand how valuable you are and what you can accomplish. And I know that it works because I'm still here. That's what I mean. It's 73, and to have reversed everything through this work, that's what I am giving to everyone. But it is challenging for us all to accept what we can achieve, but I know what you can achieve because I've done it. Thanks for being here. See you soon.